So, Quentin or Quentin, what do you prefer?
If you can pronounce it correctly, Quentin.
Okay, Quentin. Welcome to SomeBlock, the series where we talk about everything sales, prospection, and what best to do during the slower and sunnier summer months. Today, we're joined by one of our newest team members, Quentin.
Hi, Jason.
Quentin, thank you for agreeing to be here in our summer tropical paradise on the fourth floor of our office building.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So, Quentin, for those viewers of ours that don't know you, you've been working with us for the past 2 months, but actually your career in sales spans over 6 years.
8 years, actually.
8 years
2 years as an SDR, 6 years in the AE, basically. So
in,
8 years in tech, in SaaS industry.
in sales in SaaS.
In
Yeah.
sales,
Okay.
in SaaS, absolutely.
So, how did you get started in SaaS? And tell me a little bit more about your current role.
That's a French expression saying I saw the light and I pushed the door, and that was basically it for me. I didn't grow up to thinking I would become a sales guy. We mentioned Top Gun before the interview, and I was more wanting to be a fighter pilot. But I did a business school, and I saw an ad, and I really liked the tone of the ad. So that was for the SDR role, and I immediately fell in love with the SaaS industry and the sales cycle, the good practices. Thinking it could make me a better talker, better communicator, especially better listener in my everyday life. So I saw the light, and I joined the SaaS industry, basically.
Don't you listen in your normal life?
I thought I did, actually. I thought I did, but like active listening was something I really didn't do. I was always saying no, yes, not asking the right questions. Whenever I had an argument with my family, with my friends, or a girlfriend, or something like that, and it makes me really a better listener. Like, how do you actually listen to the people and get through what they want to talk to, what they want to tell you?
I think that what you were trying to say to us is that actually that listening is a big part of what being an AE is.
It is. I think it's the most part because what the job comes down to at the end of the day is you are supposed to provide solutions to a concrete problem. And if you don't know what the problem is, well, you can really figure out what the solution is. So, yeah, I think what I really enjoy about my work, and I think what is paramount, is being a good listener, being able to quickly get an idea of what they are going through, and this will help you tailor the right solution for them. So I think it's more about listening than talking, being a good AE.
So before we dive into, like, let's say the subject and matter, which is sales blockers in the summer period or objections, that you guys call them. So what are I think what are the most common, let's say, blockers that you face in your day-to-day life as a sales rep?
Many of them, but it could be set into different kind of categories, I would say. The first one would be quite obvious, is connecting to the right person. That is, you talk to maybe 1, 2, 3 person in an account, and you don't necessarily, after 1 or 2 meetings, get a precise idea of who the decision maker, who the economic buyer is. And so that's, I would say, one issue. Who is the guy you actually need to talk to, and how can you figure it out before the deal ends because he said no? How can you reach out to him before he actually says no? How can you convince him to actually talk to you? There will be one set of, I would say, blocker, talking to the right person. One of them, which is, I think, going to relate to the topic of summer, is how can you keep momentum? How can you keep velocity in your opportunities? Because as a salesperson, I think you need to be top of mind. They have a problem, and if there is a sense of urgency, there is a much stronger chance that you would close the opportunity, that you would actually sign the client. And for that, you always need to be top of mind, top of mind, top of mind. So you need to have a regular conversation with the prospect. I think the worst thing that can happen to you is having like stalled opportunities, that is prospects you have not talked to in like 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks. That could be a big problem, because if there is no urgency, why should they even buy your solution? They have a problem, but it's been like 2, 3, 4 months since they've had this problem. Is it really urgent to solve it if the company was able to run and to float for like the past 4 months without solving this problem? So keeping momentum is a big thing of what I try to do.
Okay, Quentin. So just to build upon something you mentioned earlier, which is to keep the conversation going or the ball rolling
Mhm.
with, let's say, a potential client or a prospect, right? But isn't there a point where, let's say, the conversation can get a bit redundant or repetitive? Like, how do you do to diversify every time you reach out?
Absolutely. I mean, if you have a long sales cycle, you will need to talk to your champion maybe 10, 20, up to like 100 times if it's a really, really long sales cycle. So how can you make those interaction not like, hey, how have you been? Hey, how's happening? Hey, what has changed? I think one of the key things you should do as an AE is always try to add value. And value could be something as, I would say, simple as I saw a recent activity on your leading fee. Can you talk? Can you walk me through how this impacts you as a person? Or we actually just close a new client that is related to you because you target the same customers. Would you like to maybe hear what are the key things they found on our platform that could be useful to you? So
Mm.
yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do also here, bring value with the podcast. Yeah. Okay. So what makes a good AE?
Oh, I think I mentioned that a bit earlier. Would be being a good active listener,
Hmm.
uh, being aware that there are several biases, like confirmation biases happening, and so always try to go to the roots of the problems. Always try to go maybe one step deeper. Ask the why question: Why is this happening? What's the pain behind that? What's the implication behind this pain? Always try to go deeper and deeper to the root of the problem of your customer.
Hmm.
So yeah, being a good active listener, you also need to being smart in how you navigate your deals. That is, okay, so you mentioned that earlier. This is going to be maybe a blocker, or should I say, a pain in the ass later down the road. How can I tackle this issue right now for it to maybe not come and kill my deal in 2 or 3 weeks? So, yeah, you need to be a bit of a strategist. Always think maybe one or two moves ahead.
Hmm.
Even though Casper and Cognism are great companies with great management, I think it's important because at the end of the day, you carry a quota, so you need to be able to withstand some amount of pressure, I would say.
Okay. So working well under pressure.
Mhm.
I mean, it's something in general,
Yeah, in
you,
general.
you
So,
need to
I
apply.
mean, even if you had like a great quarter, at the first week of July, it's back to zero. So you
Mm.
always need to be able to withstand some amount of pressure, I would say.
Mm. Okay. Now, well, you started as an SDR, now you're an AE.
Mhm.
Do you miss being an SDR?
I miss being young. I miss the thought of starting my
Yeah.
new adventure in the SaaS industry. But I think SDR is a great way to get a hold of what is expected from me as a salesperson. But the day-to-day job, to be honest, I prefer an SDR. So I miss some part of it, especially because in SDR you can do like your whole quota in 1 week. You can start with like 0 meetings set, and like you have a great stream of success, and you book like 5, 6, maybe 10 meetings in one day.
Mm.
I miss the thrill of that because you can't basically out of thin air create and close 10 opportunities when you're an AE. So maybe I miss that a bit. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, Quentin, you shared a lot of very amazing insights from your long and illustrious career as a sales rep.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think it's time for a segment we're calling The Call. Hello?
Hello, Jason.
Yeah, this is he.
Hi, this is Quentin from Cognism. How are you doing?
Who?
Quentin from Cognism.
From where?
From. Sorry.
Yes. From where?
It's Quentin from Casper.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Quentin, hi, how are you? What can I help you with?
Jason, I'm actually, and you're going to think I'm a total psycho. I'm actually on the beach in Greece right now. But I remembered we talked about something that was actually, don't even ask me how I came up with the idea of calling you right now. But I just realized before going on vacation, I signed a client called my B2B company.
Okay.
And I've just had, they actually go through the same persona, the same ICP as you. And I just had an email that saying they had great results. And I was wondering, like, could I share you maybe those results if you're not on holidays and you want to go through something interesting before I think you go on vacation next week?
Yeah, I'm going on vacation next week. That's why I'm so surprised that you're calling from your own vacation.
Actually, my friends are going to get me coronas right now, so I had a bit of time off, and my phone rang. There was a notification, and I just thought I was actually going to send you this email with the results.
Well, if you're calling me during your vacation, it must be important. So, okay, why don't you send me over the information? I'll tell you if it looks good or not. And what do you need from my side?
Nothing. It's just that we have a meeting planned the first week of September, and I just thought in the meantime it could be interesting to have like some concrete information of how Cognism and Casper has helped a customer in the first few weeks of usage. So I'm going to share that with you. Tell me your thoughts when we actually talk again in September.
I think that's great that you mentioned September because I'm going to be off for the whole of August. So thank you for being so thoughtful, Quentin.
Thank you.
For once.
And if you actually want to talk to me while you're on the beach, call me. I will answer. But you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I think let's see what happens. Okay?
Sure.
But in any case, Quentin, well, nice to hear from you. Enjoy your Greek vacation, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jason.
We'll talk to you after the summer. Bye.
Bye.
Bleep.
Bleep.
Coming back to the subject at hand, Quentin, I'm going to ask you the question on everybody's mind.
Tell me.
Any upcoming summer plans?
Yes. Actually, I'm going to Spain in Formentera.
Oh,
Yeah.
ole.
And I'm going to get away from Paris during the Olympics.
Quentin, thank you so much for joining our show and sharing all your valuable knowledge with us. It's been great to have you.
Thank you so much, Jason. It was a pleasure being here.
And thank you for watching this episode of SomeBlock. Join us next time with another of our sales experts here. Bye.